The room did not feel historic at first. It felt routine. Another debate in Washington, D.C. Another carefully scheduled evening designed to look important. Bright lights. Neutral backdrops. Familiar faces. People arrived with expectations shaped by years of repetition. They had heard the promises before. They had seen the performances. They knew how these nights usually ended. Not with answers, but with headlines. The air carried anticipation, but it wasn't excitement. It was obligation. The sense that this mattered, even if nothing changed. Cameras adjusted angles. Microphones were tested. Moderators rehearsed transitions. Everything was controlled. The candidates walked onto the stage one by one. Polite smiles. Careful posture. Measured energy. The debate began. The first questions focused on the economy. Rising costs. Families struggling to keep up. Jobs that no longer stretched far enough. Answers followed a familiar rhythm. Statistics delivered smoothly. Plans outlined without urgency. Language chosen to avoid risk. The audience listened respectfully. Some nodded. Some sat silently. Others waited. They weren't waiting for information. They were waiting for honesty. Time moved forward without momentum. Then Jasmine Crockett stood to speak. There was no dramatic pause. No attempt to command attention. No performance. Just presence. Her voice was steady. Not loud. Not rushed. People are tired of promises, she said. They've heard them for years. What they want is accountability. What they want is results they can actually feel. The room changed. Not suddenly. Subtly. Movement stopped. Phones stayed down. Eyes stayed forward. Her words didn't feel rehearsed. They felt grounded. She wasn't offering hope as a slogan. She wasn't selling optimism. She was demanding responsibility. For the first time that evening, the debate felt connected to reality. The conversation moved on. Healthcare. Infrastructure. Education. National priorities. Each answer added detail. But something still felt incomplete. Behind the calm tone, frustration lingered. The country was facing deep, structural challenges. Yet the discussion hovered above them. Careful not to land too hard. Jasmine's words remained in the air. People are tired of promises. Then Donald Trump spoke. The shift was immediate. The energy in the room changed direction. His voice was louder. More forceful. More commanding. He didn't ease into his answers. He took space. He spoke about disorder. About mistakes made by others. About a country, he claimed, losing its strength. Confidence filled the room. Supporters leaned forward. Critics stiffened. This was familiar. Then policy faded. Trump's focus shifted. He turned toward Jasmine. His tone sharpened. Dismissive. Personal. He brought up past leadership. He blamed. He connected her to what he described as failure. The room went quiet. This was no longer a debate about solutions. It was about dominance. Trump leaned forward, satisfied. Waiting for reaction. But Jasmine didn't respond. She didn't interrupt. She didn't defend. She waited. The silence stretched. Moderators hesitated. The audience shifted in their seats. Why wasn't she speaking? Because silence, when used correctly, is not weakness. It is pressure. The longer she waited, the more attention moved. Away from him. Toward her. Trump continued speaking, filling the space. trying to maintain control. Still, she waited. The room leaned in. Expectation grew. And then she spoke. Calm. Measured. Unshaken. Before attacking others again, she said. Perhaps it's worth explaining how power and influence are handled within your own circle. The atmosphere changed instantly. She didn't accuse. She didn't speculate. She didn't dramatize. She reframed the moment. From blame to accountability. The room felt smaller. Trump shifted in his seat. For the first time, there was no immediate response. No interruption. No redirection. Just hesitation. Jasmine continued. You speak about values, she said. But leadership requires consistency. It requires responsibility. It requires answering difficult questions, not avoiding them. Her voice never rose. But the weight of her words did. This wasn't confrontation. It was exposure. Trump attempted to move on. The moment resisted him. Because some questions don't disappear when ignored. They linger. They follow. The debate never returned to its earlier rhythm. The noise faded. The performance dissolved. What remained was tension. The audience sat quietly. No applause. No cheers. Not shock. Awareness. Jasmine said nothing more. She simply sat back. Composed. Grounded. It wasn't about who won. It was about a moment. A pause. A question. A reminder that leadership isn't about volume. It's about control. That night didn't end with answers. It ended with something more powerful. Doubt. And once doubt enters the room, nothing stays the same.